I love to feed the few. I have a restaurant with only 12 seats, 30 cooks in the kitchen. There we push the boundaries of cooking. But I'm also in love of feeding the many. It's almost a destiny we cannot escape. If you know you can feed the few, but also you can feed the many, and you don't do it in times of need, I feel that feeding the few doesn't serve the purpose itself.
You talk about times of need. The two of us were in Puerto Rico in September of last year. Certainly, I don't know if you would say it feels like it's been that long, but, and you really did feed the needy. We saw devastation, we saw desperation, we saw destruction in a way we've never seen on that island, and certainly in a way we've never seen before. How were you, as if it's not impressive enough that you went without a formal relief program, as if it's not enough that you set up 900 distribution points for food, why is it that you were able to accomplish what others couldn't?
Well, you know, we were coming back from Houston. I went there with a team and we began making meals. We took with us over 120,000 pounds of food. We were able to help in 2-3 kitchens. We helped make thousands, hundreds of thousands of meals. I was coming back to DC, and thereafter Maria is up on the Weather Channel. And I'm like, oof, that's going to be a bad one. And when I saw that Maria was going to hit Puerto Rico directly, my wife doesn't say anything anymore. Yeah, she does my backpack, and she puts my fishing gear, as she calls it. And as soon as I got on a plane, I went there with a friend of mine called Nate Mook. When we arrived, I told my wife I'll leave for 4 days. I'll come back by the weekend. I'll make sure I leave some money around. I help some friends. We help establish a kitchen. We feed few people, and we go. But then it was Thursday night that I got a visit from the top guy of the Salvation Army. By then, we were already doing 6,000, 7,000 meals a day, 6 days after the hurricane. And he asked me for food. In that moment, I asked him, where are your kitchens? You are the Salvation Army. I said, well, we're thinking about what's the situation. I said, but where are your kitchens? What are you going to do? That night, I knew we were about to have a problem. When I go the next day to FEMA headquarters, which they invite me, I don't know why, I listen to everybody who is in charge of feeding the island, and the word food was never mentioned for an hour meeting. And at the end, they tell me, hey, Jose, can you tell us what you're doing? And I asked the Red Cross representative, I said, where are your kitchens? They said, we don't have kitchens. Where are your distribution trucks to deliver food across the island? I said, we don't have them. That moment, I called my wife and I told her, I'm not coming back home. So we went from 1 kitchen to 26 kitchens in the perimeter of the island and inside. We went from 20 cooks the first day to 25,000 volunteers. We went from 1,000 meals the first day to more than 3.7 million meals a day. At the end, we saw a problem. People were hungry, and nobody seemed to have a plan. So sometimes big problems have very simple solutions. A cook, the solution is start cooking and start feeding. Sometimes taking a very simple step, you can find a solution to some of the biggest problems that surround us.
Right, but this... While I appreciate the simplicity of that, the reality of Puerto Rico was no power, no water, no cell phone service, no internet, roads closed. I really do appreciate the simplicity of taking one step. But how did you manage those logistics with such overwhelming challenges?
Again, cooks, we love to behave. In a kitchen, it's total chaos. It's like the universe is chaos. We behave very well in chaos. Chaos is when we feel at our best. That was chaos. And what we tried to do was organize it. Everybody began saying, there's no food in the island. Offshore was food in the island. Everybody was telling me, wow, you're a genius. You were able to come up with food in the island. I'm like, sure. I had a credit card, and I fill up a line of credit. And in America, if you have a credit card and you sign a line of credit, you can achieve anything. We were able just to start buying whatever food was available in the island. We began getting generators. We began getting gas. We began getting fuel. We began having a plan. We began developing a map. We began seeing where there was need. Every phone call we got, we never said no. We began feeding the hospitals. We began feeding the elderly homes. We kept receiving more phone calls. We kept feeding more people. We went from 1 kitchen to 2, to 2 to 4. Why? Because the need was there. It's almost like a business. I am in the business of feeding people. So we were trying to respond to every single call without realizing, yes, it became a very big kind of enterprise itself. At one moment, I was spending over $250,000 a day. One day, we spent $500,000 a day. And at that moment, I didn't know where the money was going to come from. But if I will be waiting for the money, people will be going hungry. Was a moment I couldn't afford people going hungry. I don't know why we took it on our shoulders, but I saw that the problem was clear and that we were there for a reason. I never looked back. Just we began cooking and we kept going forward. At the end, the money arrived. But like any private business, first you believe in an idea. You put the idea up and running. Then you will see who the investors are to help you pay to that idea to move forward. But we did like the private sector will do. Just we began doing what we do best, which is we believe in this idea. We have to try to feed everybody. Let's go for it.